Corrie, commence the pouring of the Kool-Aid. Thank you. I'm only kidding. I hear we made twin sister cult status in the group.
I know, and I thought we would have been a bead cult, but apparently we're a negativity cult. So,
hey, as long as we got cult status, that's all I am going for.
I felt like I arrived. If you don't know what we're talking about, head over to the group, search cult, and you should find it.
So instead of doing the typical, I'm Heather and we're with Sugar Cookie Marketing and we're a group on Facebook with a bunch of bakers and Greg, I think people kind of get it. So I'm going to switch things up today.
Okay.
And ask my twin sister, Corrie, 10 questions. Fire and answer. She knows I was asking her questions. She doesn't know what they're about.
I'm sweating.
Okay, great. Then perfect. I did turn the air up. My grandma does not believe in air conditioning.
Wouldn't it be called air down?
I don't know. If you turn the air up, does that mean the air is now flowing?
Or did the temperature go up?
I don't know. So the air is doing something up and down, but there is something changing hopefully here in a minute.
So as I start sweating, I'll let you know you turned it the wrong way.
Okay. Question number 1.
All right.
What is your middle name and why?
My middle name is Anne, without an E, for those Green Gable fans out there. It's Anne because my grandmother's name is Ruth Ann. So when one twin popped out, she got the first one, Heather Ruth. And I got the second, Corrie Ann.
Right. So Corrie and my
I sound
names.
like a kitchen tabletop. Corrie Ann.
Corrie Ann. Question number 2. When is your birthday and what is special about that number?
My birthday, for all those out there, please jot this down on your calendars, is November 22nd. But it is a cool day because we were born on November 22nd, 1988, which, if you squish those numbers together, is 11/22/88.
When anybody ever asks me my birthday, I'm like 112288. And you know what's cool about that is I'm a twin. And they're like, that's 30 seconds I'm never getting back. But anyways, that was really just a ploy for the group members to realize when our birthday is.
Amen.
Okay, good. Moving on. Question number 3. How many children do you have?
I have.
Not counting your husband. He is not a child.
Okay. It was 2. Now I went back down to 1. I have 1 kid. He's 11. Super nerdy. Super cool. We love hanging out on the weekends.
Every weekend they go to the same restaurant in the same place and order the same food. And I think you've done it for over 2 years.
Since we moved, it's been 3.
Wow. It's not even a restaurant close to your house. So you're driving 30 minutes to get there.
It's 40 minutes away.
Okay. Question number 4. How many siblings do you have?
Siblings. I have a twin sister. Most people know. She's pretty loud. A younger sister and 1 older sister. So there's 4 of us total. Poor dad.
Okay. You got to give people what they want to know. They want to know the ages.
Oh, little sister. First name Summer. Age 25. Older sister. First name Ashley. Age 34.
I think she's 35.
Yeah, so
there's 10
she
years
doesn't
between
listen to
them.
this, so I'm not even worried about
Right.
it.
And there's 8 years between us and some.
Yes.
Okay. They're all in the group, though.
For those that don't want to do math, the twins are 32.
Someone's like 1988, 2021.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, next question. How many pets do you have, and why are you a pet hoarder?
I love my pets. I have, actually today is sweet baby Ray's birthday. He is a 5-year-old English bulldog. I surprised my husband with him and almost led to a divorce. I have Fuzz Aldrin.
I see what you did there.
He's getting ready to turn 1. And then we have Ruby Kitty. She could be 11 or 12. We are unsure.
Okay, so that's 3 animals. I like that answer. Fuzz is adorable. If you would put a picture in the podcast notes for the rest of us to see him, that would be wonderful.
Can do.
If you would also send me a Snapchat later tonight of him sleeping, that would be
Guaranteed.
Okay. What are you watching on Netflix right now? It can be Amazon or Hulu or whatever you're watching.
Okay, right now.
Whatever account you're currently mooching off of one of your sisters on, what are you watching on it?
I am watching the Beauty and the Baker.
That's on what?
That is on Netflix. It's one of their newer
Would you recommend
things.
it?
If you want something cutesy, I'd recommend it.
Can kids watch it?
There is alluding to bedroom scenes, but nothing is over the top.
Is there curse words?
Right now, I can't remember. My heavenly mind is blocked him out.
Okay. Do you pay for any streaming? This is not even a question. Do you pay for any streaming service?
No.
Do you pay for any streaming service?
No.
You get Amazon Prime from me, Netflix from Ash. Do you
Those are the
steal
only
Hulu
two.
from Summer?
No, I don't.
You could. She has one.
Well, now that you let me know.
Corrie is a thief. Okay, what is your favorite show of all time?
Okay, for those who are Netflix people like me, you have got to watch Sherlock. It's with
It's a good one.
Benjamin
Even I watched
Cumberbatch,
it.
and it is one of the best shows. He will not do another season. I think it's 4 seasons or something.
I think there's violence in it, so maybe not the kids.
No, but if you have, it is honestly a phenomenal
But
show.
I'm going to say, don't watch it while you're baking this. You need to be tuned in.
Yes,
Yeah.
put that phone aside. We'll be here when you get back.
I think each episode is an hour.
It's so good.
But there's only like 5 episodes.
I think it's like 4 seasons, but guaranteed no more.
Okay. How did you meet your husband?
I actually stalked him at the gym.
Yesterday was their 1-year anniversary, which would make it Corey's second 1-year anniversary.
Okay. I've been with my husband. We've been together 7 or 8 years.
Okay.
And then married officially 1 year.
They got married in the first week of COVID because they didn't want to have a big shindig, and they found out you could get married online.
On
And these two little homebodies are such homebodies that they thought the ideal wedding would be at home.
We had to raise our little hands. FaceTime guy said, "Do you swear to be married?" I said, "Sure do."
Yeah, and so you've been officially married a year.
A year.
Okay, Nate is my brother-in-law. For you guys who don't know, he is a giant, giant man. How much can he deadlift?
Deadlift means he can pick like weight off the ground and stand straight up with it. 725 pounds.
Right. Nate's a huge dude. He's a police officer. So
He also spent all weekend tying bows to my orders.
Man of many talents. He lifts Corrie up out of her moods and weight off
many moods.
Which one's heavier? Nobody knows. Okay, who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, since my husband does not listen to this podcast, let me spend some good time on this one. It is Henry Cavill.
Corrie
I was
loves
obsessed
that
with
man.
him.
And then, don't you like?
I can't remember his name. It used to be another guy, Captain America. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but it switched to Henry Cavill. If Henry Cavill gets married, it will switch back to Captain
Learn the other
America.
guy's name. Okay, 9. If you could only have one baking assist utensil for the rest of your life, that means everything else is done by hand. What would that utensil be?
It would be nice if Heather would help me out every once in a while. But if it can't be Heather, it would be a Joseph and Joseph rolling pin. My favorite thing.
It is nice for keeping the heights of your dough rolls.
Yeah. And that makes the temperature in your oven. You're not baking some a lot, some less.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then when you package them, it looks professional.
It also allows you to change the little ends so you can make them thicker or thinner, right?
Yeah, so you can decide if you want to do a thicker cookie, like if you're putting it on like a popsicle or something like that. You can go thicker, you can go less. Depends.
You know, I don't know if anyone's in Sam's Cookie University, but I think they actually printed off some of those ends.
Oh, no way.
In one of the classes.
She's talking about the measurement tools for those who are
unsure
what a Joseph and Joseph.
The end caps fluctuate in height.
I love these names. End caps. Ends. Rolly things.
The rolly thing that squishes the squishy stuff. The end caps change. But I think in Sam's Cookie University, where they teach you how to use a 3D printer, I think they printed off one of the ends.
Oh, I mean, you can buy them on Etsy too,
Yeah.
but if you can make it yourself, even better.
Right.
I know what I'll be asking Heather to make me tonight.
Oh, no. It's not going to be good. Number 10, last question. If there was one marketing tip you wish everyone on this podcast would know, what would it be?
I think it would be a consistency when it comes to marketing. It's not a genius move. You don't have to have a degree in it. But usually when you put time towards something, it tends to grow, tend to see return on time there. So consistency.
Oh, okay. So 2 things I've noticed. That's a great tip. 2 things I've noticed is that the podcast has gotten longer, but we've not been talking any slower, which is horrifying.
We are just stuffing these people's ears with information they don't need.
Right. Okay. Second thing is I've been watching TikTok a lot, and Corrie found this dog voice, and she's been talking like it all week. But I just wanted to record it so that in perpetuity I can come back and reference it. Can you talk like the dog?
I'm going to try. This is with.
Just say what he did on TikTok.
This one's for the humans.
Corey's been talking like that all week.
Let's go get some sushi.
Okay, great. That is our intro. So again, we're 2 twins, Sugar Cookie Marketing Group on Facebook. Blah, 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 blah.
Heather's twin 1, Corey's twin 2. First in your hearts. You know the drill.
Middle name Ruth. Corey's middle name Diane.
Dogs,
12288. Okay, marketing minutes. Corrie, I think what are we talking about, and then delve into it.
Okay, so I know some people like to know what we're doing. First, we go into our intro, which you guys can really just skip on past, except for our birthdays are 11/22, 1988. Next, we go into marketing minutes. It's just us trying to give you some tips for marketing while you're probably baking. Then we go into the business of baking. It's about 5 minutes long. And then Heather's favorite part, which is voicemails. When you guys call in, text in, and we can answer you guys directly. Then we're going to cover group stuff, whether it be lives coming up, how the cult's going, things like that.
When the next Kool-Aid meeting is.
Yep. And then we have our Twinterests at the end.
Oh, and I've actually added sponsors, but we'll get that into. Great, that rolly sound.
Oh, sorry.
It is recorded.
I need it.
Okay, I want
That's
you
my
to not
mouse.
do that ever again.
Okay, so I'm going to dive into marketing minutes. I am talking today about marketing and moisturizer. I know a lot of people are probably like, you said that
Take me
wrong.
on this ride.
We're going on a journey. You probably like, maybe she meant marketing moisturizer. No, I want to talk about marketing and moisturizer. But before I get into that, I would like to tell you a short story of a gift Heather gifted to me this past week. She actually gifted it to me last year, but since the coronavirus happened, I didn't feel the need to use it till my husband pointed out how dry my feet look.
I try to help you, man.
People are probably
1 year of marital bliss. Marital? I'm not
marital.
married.
Heather's not.
Wait, say it again.
Marital.
Marital.
Maritable.
bliss.
Okay, so Heather gifted me this thing. It's called baby feet. And I know probably everyone's gagging because they're probably thinking about Corrie and her not so baby feet.
But can I tell people what it does?
Heather says it will make your feet look amazing.
It's 10% AHA, which is a chemical exfoliant. 10% is a very high amount of that chemical exfoliant. You put this sake on
a little
for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You sit your butt down and read a book or listen to this podcast or watch Corey's Henry Cavill stream. And then when you take the sock off, you wash it off and nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Okay, so Heather gave it to me a year ago, sat in my drawer till my husband looked at my toesies and said they look quenched for thirst.
Quenched means that they're
Quenched.
moisturized.
They look very
Opposite of quenched.
Opposite of quenched, very thirsty.
Okay.
So I said, he worked late last week. I said, let me put these bad boys on. Ripped open the bag. There was a little bit of a learning curve. That's okay. I'm willing to fight for it. So I put these it's almost like a plastic sock, and you sit with your feet in it for about an hour to an hour and a half. So I did watch the Beauty and the Baker, and then the little time came up, and I said, I better get these puppies off. On the package, it says you need to step into a shower to remove the excess goo that has now clenched to your foot.
Because it is such a high percentage of an exfoliant, you can't leave it on. You got to get it
Right.
washed
So I said, let me walk my little self up to the shower. And this is me standing. I said, I have to put one foot down to get the sake off the other foot. So I said, I will step into the shower with my goo foot and then
without
remove.
the sock on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then step in, remove the other sake off the
Did
foot.
I not give you a warning?
I don't know. But
Okay.
guys, I went from 5'4" to less than a foot high because I've never fallen so hard in my adult life.
It is extremely slick.
As soon as my big toe touched the bottom of the shower, my foot just flew out from under me. And there's nothing to catch yourself in my shower for someone. I grabbed like maybe a shampoo bottle on the way down, but I hit that so hard. Like we have a glass shower door. It was reverberating. My dog came in to like look at the damage, but no one was there to help. So I don't know if Heather's out for me when it comes to life.
And I would have gone away for it too if it wasn't for that meddling dog.
But that has nothing to do with marketing moisturizer, but I just thought I would put
I just
it
got
out
to tell
there.
them, after about a week of nothing happening to your foot sheds. It's a complete outer layer.
That's my Twinterests.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. No.
I had to
Pretend you
fight
didn't
for
hear that.
Go on.
Okay, so I want to talk about why marketing and moisturizer have anything in common. And when it comes to skincare and the twins, if I can lather it and put it onto my face and it says some word of anti-aging, I'm probably going to do it. But never in my mind do I ever think that it's going to work overnight. I mean, if it did work overnight, I think it would be $1 million and called
I'd be there.
facelift. But when it comes to skincare, I never put it on thinking it's going to work overnight, but I think it's more of a preventative maintenance. Hey, if you do this repeatedly over and over again, you're going to see benefits from it, whether it be, no under eye bags, less wrinkles,
Less redness.
less redness. That's what I'm working on now. And marketing is the same way. I know Heather will kind of agree here that a lot of people will say, hey, I tried this one thing and it didn't work. I feel like I'm going to throw in the towel.
Yeah, they don't give it enough time to truly take effect. So I really like retinoids. Everyone, I really like retinoids. Right. But a retinoid takes about 6 to 8 weeks to take an effect. Everyone I've ever given a bottle to was like, I quit using it in 2 days because I got a pimple. No. That pimple is from something you did a while ago. You're blaming it on the most recent thing, and you're overcorrecting. So you never got a chance to see what truly worked. It takes time to truly test something.
Right. So if you try something new and it does not work the next day, first off, your audience probably hasn't been accustomed to it yet, and you have to get them used to whatever new marketing things you are trying. So it's not an overnight thing. So don't give up because you didn't make $1 million and run off with Bill Gates and you guys with your billions and billions. Hey, Billy. My husband doesn't
William.
We got to get Heather married off over here. But what do you think, Heather?
I think it's a great idea. So what I tell people is there's a ton of chess pieces to move. Don't move them all at the same time, but let them have a chance to see if they're effective or not. It's very easy to be like, tried it. I made one post mentioning whatever the group said. It didn't work. It didn't make any sales. It must not work. That is a short-sighted view of a very long-sighted marketing plan, right?
Yeah.
So when we want to implement a marketing thing, we'll probably do it for a month to 2 months. And then we'll say, okay, did that work or not? Did it change the numbers in a positive direction?
And the reason why you're like, wow, 2 months is a little bit of long, but you have to gather data. And you're not going to be able to have comparisons with one post.
No, but you'd have to constantly do that. So if you see in the group, we're talking about adding call to actions, adding scarcity, you're looking at 2 months of scarcity posts to really see if it has an effect on your bottom line. And to really be able to truly compare data, it should be this time the year prior. I know a lot of us look at the month prior, but last month it was end of winter. This time I'm in a spring mood.
Plus, you got to think last year was a very COVID year. This was when everything was closing down.
Right. I almost feel like a lot of marketing data has this weird...
It has this weird bubble almost.
Yeah, this weird, something that's not typical. So whatever happened last year, I'm not sure if that will continue or not, but we're looking at a couple years of data that we have to continue forward to see how it's effective.
And some people will, I'll compare Mother's Day to Father's Day. No, your audiences are different.
Yeah, 2 different audiences, 2 different days, 2 different times of the year. You'd almost want to compare Mother's Day this year to Mother's Day last year to Mother's Day of the year before. Right. So then we're looking at 3 data points for Mother's Days. And a lot of people, the group's only been around for like 6 or 7 months. So a lot of the stuff we talked about, people haven't had long enough to truly compare what they were doing last year to this year.
Yeah. So I don't want people to get disheartened because maybe you saw someone who sold out. Okay, first off, Heather did a great post, which we don't even know what that word sold out means. Are they selling 2? Are they selling 30,000?
Yeah. So just expound on that for the people who aren't in the group.
Okay.
If Corrie was a hobby baker and only took 1 order per week, and if she got 4 orders in the month of, was it May? Mm-hmm. She can go to the group and say, I've sold out. I'm sold out for this month. Does anybody have a graphic that I can say sold out? She's sold out, but I don't know that she sold out because she only took 4 orders. If this is my only income, I'm looking to get 26 orders. Then I see a post that Corrie sold out and I'm not. I start panicking. I've compared myself. What am I doing wrong that she's doing right? Why is none of this working for me?
Overcorrecting, discouragement, throwing in the towel, resentment, so many things. But you have to realize with these posts you see, you're only seeing a portion of the full story. So you can't really hold that to yourself without
you got to hold yourself to yourself. So that's why I really like tracking data. Mm-hmm. So I would like if everyone here had a spreadsheet that said January to December and just what you made, like how much you sold, what you netted, what you grossed, right?
Because you're going to compare it to yourself the year prior, the year
prior, and then we can say, wow, whatever I changed in this month of, let's say, January 2021 really truly affected the months following that. What was it? Let me go back and find out. But if we're just saying, I feel and it seems, that's not hard data. And it's really hard to correct things or know which direction you're headed.
Right. Because then you'll fix 20 things. You'll change 20 things. And then you'll be like, what did I change that worked? I have no idea.
And now I can't change any of the things back. Right. I have no idea.
Yeah. So
the worst thing is if you change 2 things, one made it increase and one made it decrease, and now you think neither of them worked.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You gotta move slowly. You have to be intentional and you have to track data.
True. Okay. My final thoughts for marketing moisturizer is my PSA, wear sunscreen.
We found this TikTok of 2 sets of 2 twins. So that's 4 people total. 1 twin lived in the sunny East Coast, Florida, and 1 twin lived under a rock. and one of the twins smoked and one of the twins didn't. And the amount of I'm going to be the old twin.
I'm going to be the young twin. Heather, I've sworn Heather to secrecy for this, but when we go to the beach, I turn into a sand potato. I wrap my body in layers of towels.
She sits under an umbrella, under a hat, wrapped in towels with sunscreen. I mean, I think this sounds like, dude, you get it. You don't want to see me. That's why.
So I can't wait to be the young twin.
I will be living under a scalpel by the time I turn 50. Okay. You will not even be able to recognize me.
All right. So that's what I had for marketing minutes. I'm going to let Heather take over the business with baking.
But I have a couple. I want you to be involved in this one because this is more business of baking isn't so much marketing, but this one kind of is.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to talk about bad reviews. Corrie, how many bad reviews? Will you get a bad review in your lifetime?
1,000%.
1,000%. Everyone listening to this podcast, if you have a Google My Business page or a Facebook page or someplace, a Yelp page where someone can leave you a review, I want you to make peace with it right now. You will get a 1-star review. There is no exceptions. At one time, fair or not, there will be a 1-star in front of you at one point.
Except for our marketing agency, for some odd reason, we got okay, I'm knock on wood.
Great. Now we're going to get a bad review. Okay, so you're either going to feel a couple of things, right? You're going to feel anger, you're going to feel disappointment, or you're going to feel confusion. And the reasons why are this. You'll be angry if you didn't feel it was warranted. That's the most dangerous emotion.
Even
right?
if it is warranted, I'm still mad.
Right. Anger, they always say it's a secondary emotion. There's an emotion that anger covers up. So you hurt my feelings and now I'm mad. So before you were hurt, anger is that response mechanism. Okay. You're going to feel disappointment if you felt like you could have rectified it and the client didn't reach out to you. And then finally, confusion if it wasn't even somebody who should have left you a review. And that's the one I want to actually talk about. Everyone who has talked to us said, I used to think this world was a happy place, and then now I know that everything is manipulated online. You can't trust anything.
We're just breaking hearts and spirits over here.
Right. So don't trust any reviews online. There's review rings where someone will create so many accounts, Google local guides, and they'll go and attack certain businesses they want to take out of maps. So when you get enough bad reviews, Google stops showing your listing.
It does. Hey, just so everyone knows, I'm a Google local guide.
Corey's one of the highest local guides you can get, I think, right?
I love reviews. I love reviewing.
So when someone's taken out of maps, that allows somebody else to go. So it's called negative SEO, and it's a real big strategy, and it is really damaging. But it happens.
It is.
So in the course, I've been in digital marketing for 10 years, and Corrie and I have been running this business for about 5 years. We've been able to get 3 Google reviews removed.
And it was painstakingly
It took 2 months, and I had to prove that it was a part of a review ring.
Yeah, so the one review that we got, the person reviewed one of our clients and then reviewed a different person halfway across the nation in less than
30 seconds. It was 3 accounts, 3 negative reviews. They reviewed all the 3 companies that were in the map pack, and then most of their reviews were based out of North Carolina, and we're out of Northern Virginia. So
it was
bad.
Was fast. And it's deliberate.
Because it was fast, that's the reason we could prove that it wasn't accurate.
Yeah.
But people are like, well, I review people. Okay, whatever. It was that Google was able to see through Google's eyes, who's tracking a lot more stuff than you realize, that it was not realistic, and they deleted the accounts, which deleted the reviews.
Before a bunch of people call us in and say, girls, help us remove reviews. It is a lot more complicated than you think, and you have to almost violate their terms of service.
But people will be like, violate their terms of service?
Yeah, but just like they have to, you can quote someone else's, like you can say another business name.
The review had to offend one of
their rules.
Yeah, rules. And if then maybe, but even then it's really difficult.
It's still hard.
So someone in the group posted, hey, I got this bad review. Someone's like, just flag it, they'll take it down. Well, they won't take it down. Ask me how I know. It's not just flagging it and they'll take it down. It is the wild, wild west of Google reviews these days.
A review with just stars does not violate either Facebook or Google's rules. Right. So you can't just get that one down. Almost those are the worst one because there's no words.
There's no words, and it just affects your star rating.
It does.
So, I wanted to say that I think it was Valerie Coco who posted that she had gotten a bad review, but it was under a name of somebody she didn't recognize.
Okay.
So odds of it being spam are pretty high, but how are we to know?
We don't.
So a lot of the replies were like, tell her she's wrong. No, because that Who's reading? Corey, who's reading review replies?
Other people who are looking to buy from your business.
Right. So that review reply isn't written to the person who wrote you the bad review. Imagine it being written to everyone else who's about to call you. Right?
Yeah, I love going to find a bad review.
Okay. Yeah, because I only read bad reviews. So forget the good reviews.
Yeah, there's like 25 stars. No, I'm going to the 4.
Right. So she got a bad review. I think it might have only been a star rating. Yeah, it was just a 1-star rating, no content back. So what should she reply? Here's what I recommended.
Sure.
I think even on star ratings, you still see their names.
You can, yes.
So I'm going to pretend that person's name is George. They were not named George. I don't remember their name.
Okay.
Hey, George, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to leave me feedback. It's feedback like yours that helps me improve my product, which is my goal, to be the best baker on this side of insert geographical landmark.
Mississippi.
This side of Mississippi. I can't find your invoice under that name, but if you'd like to use the Google messaging feature to reach out, I'd love to know how I can improve. Thanks again. Not often do I miss a mark, but if that's what happened here, I'm truly sorry. What did we do there, Corey?
So what Heather did was address, well, he didn't have any words, so she just addressed the star rating, which makes everyone know that Heather is willing to listen to what her clients have to say. Next, she said, hey, I could not find you in my CRM software.
So I kind of disarmed his review.
Hey, I don't know this person, but look, I'm still willing to not call them names, say I'm going to show up at your door and throw biscuits
I'm going to
at
sue you for libel or slander. No.
No, Heather went this positive way that me, as the next potential client that she might get, would be like, oh my goodness, she doesn't miss a mark often, but she's listening to her people. She's willing to fix it. This guy doesn't even sound like he is a part of her business, but
if he is, then wow, she truly said, reach out to me and let me rectify it. So as the future customer, I know that this person is willing to make things right. They're trying to be the best they can be. They're listening. They're on the internet. They're real.
Can I add one positive other thing that you did?
Go ahead.
She took it offline. Okay, she didn't get into a comment war with someone who probably is a spam account that left her a review. She said, hey, if I did miss the mark, please reach out via Google messaging, which to us, then the rest of the end users who potentially are going to hire Heather to bake love to know that it was addressed, but we don't love to see that ugly snowball fight that potentially happens when business owners feel that they need to attack some customer.
But the reason why business owners, so Corey and I work with a lot of small business owners, they're very egotistical because that's who needs to be behind a business, because that's a lot of, you got to put yourself out there. You are your biggest
fan, man.
Right. So we've had a lot of clients who get these bad reviews and take it personally because it feels like it is a personal attack. However, it is not. These people don't care about you, and
they care about whatever that one thing is that pissed them off enough to type it on the internet.
Right. Are we allowed to use the word pissed?
Oh, I didn't think that was a bad one.
I thought kids don't use it.
We aren't allowed to
make them angry. Say it in the dog voice.
Just friend for the human.
Okay, so what I want to talk about a few examples of clients we've worked with. So before you and I worked together, I worked at another company. They had gotten a 1-star rating and a amazing write-up. So clearly the person either loved him or hated him, but we could only assume that they just mistyped it. So we went the positivity route. Thank you so much for the feedback. I see you left 1-star rating. If we missed the mark somewhere, could you let us know? Could you reach out? Here's my email address. I'd love to help you.
Yes.
Immediately reply, I'm so sorry. I didn't understand how the star ratings work. I thought 1 was the best.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. But she was probably 70. Okay. So it's fine, but she ended up changing it.
Oh, great.
A couple times when we take that really nice approach, people will just subtly delete because they got heard.
Yes.
So you'll go back, and the odds of that one happening are a little less, but sometimes it happens if you take the high road.
So can I say one that we did? We have a client, I'm not going to say what he does, but he apparently did not acknowledge a lady when she walked into his store, which, hey, it happens. You're probably busy. You're probably doing a million things. Maybe you're helping someone else. Who knows? But she felt wronged. Leaves him a 1-star review. Very brash. Usually I think 1 star, you got, sick from some food or something. Not necessarily that someone didn't say hi to you, but whatever. She felt wrong. So I took part in this reply and said, hey, I am so sorry. Leave that 1-star review up if that is absolutely the way you think that we treated you, because that's what we deserve. But without people like you, we wouldn't know what we needed to change. Then she sent a message to the page. She said, I just felt very hurt. I said, totally understand. But if you can let us make it up to you and you can change your review, we'd really appreciate it. She removed the review.
Right. So because you let angry people have that emotion ended. So
Yeah.
when people are angry and you tell them, well, you shouldn't be angry, you've just made them more
No,
angry.
I'm angrier.
Right. So now if they say I'm angry and I'm like, wow, I'm so sorry I made you angry. They're like, well, it
it's not
wasn't,
so
I'm
big
so
a
sorry.
deal.
You know, I was offended. We had a client, we do a little bit of reputation management for a few of our clients. So a client had gotten 1-star review. I think it was absolutely warranted. So we said, hey, thank you so much for the feedback. You know, this is how we improve. If you ever want to give us a second shot, think whatever, right?
Right.
Then they got another bad review, absolutely warranted. I agree. And she replied very egotistically offended. You don't deserve that. You are wrong. You're wrong. And then someone else left a third review and said, I'm so confused why some of the review replies are so nice and some of them are so mean.
Yeah.
I'll give them a benefit of doubt and say it was just a bad day, but it was actually 4 different people writing these. But people are reading review replies. We cannot help it. We're nosy.
And I always think this is one thing I do hate, and I see small businesses, bakers included, do this often, is you only reply to bad reviews. But what about the 50 good reviews
Corrie,
you just got?
Louder for the people in the back. You have to reply to every review.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm reading through them all. So if I see that you only address the one bad review, but you've ignored everyone who's saying your praises, no, I want that consistency through all the good ones and that one bad one so that I get a feel for what your customer service is in the good times. And
If
the
I
bad
saw,
times.
so what's the best way to combat bad reviews?
Say that one more time.
Get good reviews. Trying to mouth it to her. Sorry. The best way to combat bad reviews is to get good reviews. You will get a bad review, right? You will get a bad review. Do not take it personally. You are a business owner. It is not about you. It is about your bottom line.
Preach.
So if I got a bad review and I got 10 good reviews, my star rating is hardly going to be affected. If I had 1 good review and 1 bad review, you're looking at a 3.5.
Right.
2.5.
So in good times, get those reviews. I don't care if you have to ask it. Usually when someone picks up an order from me, I'll send them a quick little note and say, hey, if everything met your expectations, it would just mean so much to my small business if you could share that with the people who follow my page.
And out of probably every 20 people we ask, 1 person does it. But we work with hundreds of people. So that has amassed us enough good reviews so that when somebody gets offended, because people have bad days, and they put that 1-star review there, it's not going to absolutely append our
This is why I do like that Facebook is changing from a star rating to a recommendation, not recommendation. So it almost makes it so you read, why are they not being recommended? Versus seeing, like, I would say, 1 star is if your tire fell off the car, not necessarily that someone didn't hold the door for you.
Right.
But
there's people who only operate off of 5 and 1 star. Because if the other 3 stars don't exist. And it's really unfair.
It is unfair.
I met somebody who said, I only give 5 stars if it was out of this world experience.
Yeah, but dude,
But
I
that's
give
not-
5 stars
yeah.
because you smiled at me.
Right. So it's not fair, but you just have to get those
Right.
5-star reviews before you inevitably get that 1-star review. Or non-recommendation, whatever. Just a mask. Get the recs, get the reviews, whatever it is.
Can I say the one time I only gave a 3-star review to somebody? I was shopping around for this enormously large back tattoo. And I went to 3 different shops. One lady, the one who I wanted the most, wouldn't even return my call. When I came into there, I said, hey, I've sent a few emails. I'm just looking for a response. She said, unless you have an appointment, this was pre-COVID. So she said, unless you have an appointment here, she's not going to talk to you. Okay. So then I left a 3-star review saying, hey, I really wish I could give her a review based on her talents, but the only thing I can talk to is about her customer service. She messaged me. This was Yelp. And she said, how dare you? This is a small business.
You're not, just because you're small, buddy, doesn't mean you're exempt from the rules of customer service.
So I said, hey, I really wanted to, I said, I was about to give you $7,000.
That's how much Corey's back tattoo costs.
Let's not
More
talk
about
it.
Corey.
More about Corrie and this giant tattoo on her back with her baby feet. But I'm just saying, it's not if you're a small business, if you're a large business. Customer service, how people represent it is how you say something isn't necessarily how they'll take it. What is that phrase? Something.
Something.
Okay, I'll come back. I'll put it in the show notes.
But that's a great point. It's that what my 5-star is, what your 5-star is, what my 1-star is, what your 3-star is. It's all over the place. You will get that bad review. You have to not take take it personally. I always write my emails to clients that are upset as if I had to read them in court, as if this ends up as a civil suit and they say, defendant, please read your email reply, and mine has to be read in front of a judge, and I don't want to be embarrassed.
Heather will. She's really good at responding in the same tone and format that she did the email prior.
Yeah, so it'd be like, you did it. And I'd be like, thank you so much for your inquiry. Here's how we handle things like this. Please follow the following steps. If I had to read it in front of 50 people, would I cringe by what I wrote?
Would I cringe that Heather's my twin sister?
Probably.
Okay, I think that is honestly super valuable. I think a lot of people need to work on getting reviews. That's why this email list live that's coming up would be a great one, because you could ask for it there. But hey, what do I know?
Right. Just been doing this
Emails are dead. Emails are a thing of the past.
Right. That was a thread in the group. Someone was like, I don't open emails, so emails don't work. Listen, man, you bake cookies, so you're not your target audience. You're not your target audience if you bake cookies, because your target audience doesn't want to bake cookies. They want to buy them.
Yeah, let me tell you, I'm constantly opening emails that go to promotions and updates because I like to feel popular.
I open most emails from stores I like.
Oh, yeah. DSW, man. Consider that one open.
Yeah, but there's some emails I'll never open. I'll never open them. They're just not for me right now, but I don't want to unsubscribe. But I
want to have that in my back
I want to remember that they exist.
Yes.
I don't want to buy today, and I don't want to unsubscribe because one day I may.
You may. So. I don't know. I love emails.
Right. So anyways, moving on. Let's go to our voicemails. So our first voicemail is from Kayla. I'm going to play it on the computer, and then we're going to drop it in. So just give me a pause before.
Hi, Miracle Twins. This is Kayla from Flowered by Block. I first wanted to say thank you so much for everything you guys do. You have completely changed my baking marketing game, and I am so grateful to both of you. I have a quick question for you guys. I am really struggling with coming up with content for stories, content that is relevant to my customer, content that's relevant to my followers, and then just pushing it out seems to be the biggest struggle. The times when I'm trying to add something to stories seems to be the time when my child gathers her way through some kind of a situation, or I'm like in the middle of 3 other things and I just can't seem to get my act together. Any tips or tricks in trying to get that figured out would be so helpful. Thanks again. Hope everything's great.
Okay, great. That was Kayla. She does adorable cookies, and they are so cute. So her question is Instagram stories.
Okay.
Very similar to, they're not Instagram Reels. Instagram Reels are more like TikToks. Instagram stories are kind of the little circle at the top.
And it only lasts for 24 hours unless you add it to your highlights.
Right, which move them to your profile and these tiny circles below your bio.
Yeah, I love that.
But above your feed, right?
Yeah.
Your grid. Basically, Corrie, as far as content, what would you recommend for a story? To me, the feed is the highlight reel. The beautiful photo, the beads, the lighting, the DSLR camera photos. The story is a little bit more casual.
A look behind. So while your curated photos and your captions give a little light into who you are, I feel like your stories can really showcase you as a person, you as a baker, a way to connect with people in a different kind of form and feel. It only lasts 24 hours. So you're not being like, wow, I look like an idiot 2 days ago. No, it's gone.
Right.
Poof.
So to me, it's like a behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like, so when we put on a sugar cookie class, the feed is very pretty. It's very much photos that we took at a prior class, or Corrie took a pretty photo of a set, and we're just trying to
herself.
Just kidding. Of her back, and we're just trying to get eyes there. The feed, the story is very much like, hey guys, we're setting up for class. Hey guys, you're gonna love this surprise. Hey, look at this technique we're trying today. Yeah. Isn't it so neat? Corrie kind of doing a boomerang, just getting eyes on there, and then at the end of the 24 hours, it's gone.
Well, I always add them to highlights, but yes.
Okay, Corrie adds them to highlights.
I just think they're so fun because Heather showcased how everyone in the class was holding a piping bag differently. And she said there is no wrong way to hold a piping bag.
Right. That's not necessarily that makes sense in the feed, but it made a lot of sense in stories because that's more casual. Hey, this is what I'm doing. I say if you are having a porch pop-up, ask people, hey, you want to be on my story for the next 24 hours?
Hey, and also, if you're going from business to business in your local town and you're going to just grab lunch there, what a better way to, one, let them know you exist, and two, show them that you're supporting them in the stories that exist. You tag their business, guess what? They're getting a notification. Oh my goodness.
Tell me what you ordered. Hey, I'm at Sweet Green down the street. Really like this salad, blah, blah, is in it. It's delicious at Sweet Green. So that says to the business that you exist, which is cross-marketing. And two, it says to your people who are also local, here's some other cool stuff that our area has to offer.
So your feed maintains whatever curated prettiness that you want, but you are reaching out to those local businesses. Odds are they'll reshare your post.
If anyone tags a client in a story, you best believe that gets shared.
So guess what? Now their local clientele, which I swear probably is your local clientele, are now being able to see your post from your account. You know, mine's called the Crumbed Cookie. So people have in their mind, they're like, okay, that obviously has to deal with some cookie crumbling over there.
It is a little confusing.
Okay, yeah, I made that name just in the middle of the night.
Okay. But I would say stories, behind the scenes, fun, engaging interaction, chill, relaxed. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm working on. Anybody like this set? Can you guess this cookie cutter? More of a conversation. The feed, a lot more curated.
Yeah, so I post memes to my stories.
Memes are a great one because they're memes aren't the cutest.
No, but they're hilarious. So people actually maybe not who wouldn't reply necessarily on a feed post will send me a message saying, "Oh my God, I'm dead. That is so funny."
Right, which it seems a lot more casual. If I comment on your feed post and be like, "Damn, Corrie, that was a beautiful set." Yeah. If I'm commenting to me, I'm like,
"Oh my God."
Right.
This one's for the human.
I'm just kidding. I have that recorded 5 times. All right, and then as far as scheduling, I know that I'm big on scheduling software, but Later offers story schedules. And she's saying does as well.
Later.com, which is a scheduling software.
Yeah, so you're allowed to tee up your stories, which, not necessarily behind the scenes live, but you can still record them as you go along. Yeah. When the kid decides to act up, that's fine. It's already scheduled out.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a fantastic money move. I love participating in stories. I love watching stories. So
the way I think Later and Meet Edgar work with story scheduling is they'll send you push notification. Yeah, just hit approve. You good with this? I'm good with this. Okay, go. So it's not even
that's still dealing with Facebook's API a little bit because it's the only way they could get around it.
Right, which is fine because then you can still say, well, no, I don't want to post this now. Something crazy happened in the news. I don't feel it's appropriate.
True.
Okay, cool. Moving on.
Hi, this is Caitlin from Bear's Cookie Cabin. I was wondering, I just listened to episode 9, and I appreciate very much for you to get to answering my website question. My next question seems sort of silly. So in the episode, one of you, I don't know which because you literally sound like the same person, mentioned that custom orders kind of wear you out, or that you don't do a lot of them, or something to that extent. So if you're not doing custom orders, what do you do? How do you just make whatever and hope it sells? Like, how do you make money if you're not taking custom? Thanks.
I think that is a fantastic question. Caitlin's like, how are you not broke right now? It seems like you buy all the cookie cutters. That's a great question, Caitlin. And what I do is I do take custom orders, but I'm very picky and choosy with it because cookie baking is my passion. So I want to be able to say that whatever I'm doing with wholeheartedly. So I will take customs, but what we do sell the most of is pre-sales, DIY kits, and we teach classes. Classes are our highest margin of profit. So we put a ton of our marketing efforts and time into doing those classes each month because the amount of money that we make from classes just overshadows how much time and effort goes into custom orders.
So find your highest margin, emphasis there.
Right. So while I do custom orders on the side, I really want to be known as the girl who teaches classes in Northern Virginia. That's how we tout ourselves. Then we do DIY kits for big holidays because that really pads our wallet. And then we do pre-sales. And then after that is custom orders because it really depends on time because we work. It feels like we never stop working, but
yeah. Okay. So I'd say find out the cross between what you like to do and what makes you the most money. Mm-hmm. And whatever is at the top of that pros and cons list is the one you do.
Some people would die before they could stand in front of a crowd of people and talk. And that is absolutely fine. And that's where custom orders are their ways to really showcase, one, their personality, their talents.
Right. And some people are really stressed by custom orders, so they do pre-sales. They do what they like. Mm-hmm. They say, hey, if you want what I like to do, buy it here. And they don't have to deal with the back and forth of custom orders.
Just to put it in perspective, in the month of December, me and Heather put 100% of our time to...
It's also the biggest month for sugar cookies in general, let alone classes.
Right. So we did DIY kits and classes, and we pulled in, I want to say it was $6,300 just for the month of December. Granted, it took a ton of time, and we treated it like it was a full-time job.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. We were out pretty late.
Yeah, so the money is there. That's where we focus on. I think we really do 3 days of solid work
for
one teaching day, and then we're done.
Yeah, solid work or 2-hour lunch work.
Okay, 2-hour lunch breaks just get you through it, all right?
Okay, here's another voicemail from same Caitlin.
Hey, ladies, me again. My name's Caitlin. I'm from Bear's Cookie Cabin in Georgetown, Ohio. I have sort of a silly question. I just forgot what it was. Shoot. I'll think of it and I'll call you back.
Caitlin, I love you. That is the funniest voicemail ever. Caitlin, that is hilarious. Thanks for the other one. She did the first voicemail was her remembering.
We thought we'd let her go in high, leave her low.
Okay, and thanks to everyone who called, left voicemails. We had a bunch. Here's one last one.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Challenge accepted. I just listened to the podcast, which I love. But my name is Christy, and I have a question that may or may not be favorably. Sorry, that's my dog barking in the background. Let me move. I would like to know, as a non-mom, how do you get into these mom groups where you can market your cookies for the moms who will buy it for their children? Because I work in healthcare, which is where most of my leads come from, and I would like to know how to market differently, or at least to a different group of people. And I have a non-twin that looks just like my twin sister who's an elementary school teacher, so I feel like I should be able to ask her, but, I'm asking the Miracle Twins instead. Thanks. Hope to hear from you guys.
Christy, I'm going to let Heather take this one.
Christy, did I hear a dog barking in the background?
She said you heard.
Would that make her a dog mom?
A dog mom.
Okay, here's the thing, right? It is the ethical dilemma, and I know that some people say, well, if you're not truly a mom, you shouldn't join the group. Okay, man, I am going to agree to disagree. I appreciate you people who are like parents only. You're diluting the groups by joining them. Listen, I'm in a sugar cookie marketing group, and I don't bake. I like to learn, though. I join a lot of groups, whatever. I do join the mom groups, and it says, are you a mom? Yeah, I'm a mom of 2 snakes. One tries to kill me. One would kill me if it could. Mm. And then I can add value to those groups because I'm not necessarily a parent, I can't tell you the diapers to buy, but I can tell you a great roofing company down the road that we hired. That's what 99% of mom groups are, is questions about home ownership.
Hey. Don't put us in a box. I'm a mom. I get going.
So Corey's in the mom groups legally. I'm in the mom groups by proxy.
But I will say I'm in groups of areas I used to live in. I moved 3 years ago, but
a lot of people say I used to live here. I moved 3 years ago, but I still like seeing what's going on.
And I know the places that are good because guess what? That's where I live. So I can recommend the places to go, the places not to go.
The key is to follow the rule and respect the admins, right? So if I'm going to join a group and they say no selling posts, I'm going to not necessarily write a sales post. But if they say I can write it in the comments, then it's the wild, wild west. I write in the comments.
I'm going to tell you, I'm in a buy nothing, sell nothing group that is like deliberately for my neighborhood. And Heather...
I like to see what they buy and sell.
Heather,
I like to see what Corrie gets rid of her hoard. And then I like to screenshot and be like, wow, I gave this to you 2 years ago and still got the tag.
So I would say attempt to join. Sometimes they'll let you in, sometimes not. My husband is actually a police officer. So the place that he, what is it, the word monitors? That's not the right word. Patrols? Okay. Both of those work. I wanted to just know what was going on there because that's where he spends most of his day. They said, hey, you do not live here. We're not going to let you in. Hey, absolutely 100% understand.
Not a personal attack. They're just protecting their group. But I do join mom groups. One, it is the best reality television I've never knew existed. back and forth screenshotting things, sending it to my sisters. Can you believe this is going down? And
she's like, go get in there, girl, before it's deleted.
They're about to delete. I can already feel it. But then add value to those groups as well. If
absolutely.
you can, don't just lurk. I think that the best part of a group is when people engage with posts. If somebody has a question about a restaurant or hiring a painting contractor and you have some value to add it.
Absolutely. Okay, that wraps us up for our voicemails. I want to let you know we love when you guys call and text in. You cannot do it often enough. We will not respond to you on the text
that's
or the phone
the
call.
promise. Like, that's the benefit of
you do not have to talk to us. We'll literally just listen. But you can actually call or text at 571-556-5644.
And no one will answer, but it'll be us saying, hey, leave a voicemail for the podcast. Leave a text if you want. I know we did voicemails this week. Last week we did text. So really like those. Okay, Corrie, group stuff.
Okay, group stuff. I'm going to let Heather talk about our 3x3x3.
Okay, really, it's only you that ever comments back. But last night, a lot of people had joined. So the 3x3x3 challenge we're doing for May is every day throughout May, you comment on 3 accounts that you follow. You just leave comments on some of their posts. You comment on 3 accounts that follow you. And you comment on 3 accounts that you find through hashtags.
Okay, but these aren't just like beautiful, pretty.
Engaging posts. I want you to ask questions.
I want you to read their caption. And I want from that caption and from their photo to derive a very well-written comment that represents your business well, while also engaging them and giving them some engagement that we all work so hard for.
Right. So if it's... And we try to say kind of focus on more local accounts because you're trying to grow your local business to sell local cookies. But yeah, if you have some cookie followers, engage with them too. If you can get them engaging with you, guess what? They're going to see more your pictures in their feed and they can engage with it more. So this is an engagement challenge.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I'm getting a lot of questions. All the people who follow me have private accounts. Do I need to follow them? No. This isn't a following thing. This is a commenting thing. If you can't comment on them because they're private, keep going down the list until you exhaust that list.
Right. My other thing, I'm just saying, just for if this is an engagement effort, if someone takes the time to comment on your post, don't just like that comment. I want you to comment back. I want you to create a conversation in there. I want you to acknowledge the time they took out of their life to give you some sort of engagement on your post.
Because somebody's like, they just wrote beautiful. Then give them some emoji replies back. Because you know what happens? It pings them. They have to open the app and they have to go back to your photo. What is that? Engagement.
Don't even do an emoji reply. And here is the science behind that. If they write the word beautiful and you just give an emoji, they don't have to click back in. They can just see it.
Oh, that's a good one.
If they say beautiful and be like, oh my goodness, you have no idea how long that flower took.
That's a good
They
one.
are so nosy. They will come back to see what that flower was. Just saying.
Then ask them a question. Asking questions makes us feel as like humans that aren't sociopaths, so we need to reply.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I know everyone's like engagement. No, we're not saying just talk to people. The more people come back to that profile, the more Facebook shows it to more people.
Yeah. Then when you look at your data, the data as you start to implement these things is going to start climbing. Your reach is going to start climbing. The saves, the comments, the sends, those things that matter.
Because more people could see it to be able to send it.
Absolutely.
Some lady, she joined the challenge. She's like, I'm at negative 33%, which is honestly, what goes up must come down.
You just had a good whatever.
Yeah, she was doing good work and then took a little break so that if she got into the negative territory, which is fine because it always drops. But I was like, hey, just keep working. That number will change. And then yesterday it went from negative 33 to negative 17. Hey. But by the end of this challenge, if she sticks with it, she'll be back in the positive. Absolutely. And that's exactly what this challenge is for. So I don't want to hear somebody saying, I don't know how to grow on Instagram and not take this challenge.
Yeah, you can only say that after you take this challenge and nothing happens. Right. But guaranteed something's going to happen.
Okay, we have some upcoming lives. One I'm really excited about tomorrow, back to email marketing. Jennifer Groh sells out completely through just emails.
Just imagine if all your hard work, you didn't have to make a million posts, you didn't have to be on Instagram stories trying to tout your stuff, but that your email list sells out for you. Can't even.
Yeah, here's a little theory that I was talking with Corrie about. Facebook says, hey, yeah, I like the content you're putting out there. I want to follow it. And then Facebook's like, cool, but they're not going to see it. You have to do all these hoop jumping things. Yeah. But like on the podcast, if you guys subscribe to the podcast, this number, every week that we put out a podcast, the number of subscriber grows.
Yeah.
That means every podcast we push out guarantees to reach the subscribers. There's no algorithm that's restricting our reach because you subscribe to it.
I like to think that people press play and then go to bed and forget to turn us
They're
off.
not sleeping with this voice talking to them. They'll be having nightmares. Kids will be shrieking.
But that is what email marketing is. That's something you go straight to someone's place where they go. When I go to open my emails, I'm in a certain mind space.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like I'm scrolling through Facebook and be like, that's not funny.
Have
I'm
you
gonna
ever
keep
gotten into
scrolling.
like a buying mood? Like, I don't know what I want to buy, but I want to buy something.
Girl, every Friday night on
Then
Amazon.
I'll go through my promos and I'll be like, I don't know, who's running the best discount? Do I need something? Tell me what I want.
I don't need more shoes, but I'm going to get more shoes.
Okay, but just because you don't open your email doesn't mean your clients don't. Corrie and I are on many email lists, opening up things as we feel like it. I think Vanessa, she's doing a live later, but she had sent out an email to about 500 people and 150 people opened it. And she had, dare I say, it was like 10 people click through. So her click-through rate was 4%. She's like, what a bum deal. No. 4% click-through rate is the industry standard.
Yeah. So imagine if
150 people
that's
remembered
insane.
that she existed and clicked to that email.
Whatever that subject line, I would just love to know.
And here's the same thing. Even though I don't open an email, I still saw your name. I didn't want to open your email because I'm not in the buying position right now.
But guess what? You got in front of me. You got in front of Nike. You got in front of Reebok. You got in front of Starbucks because you went to my email address where I opted in.
DSW does not care if you don't open the email. You're going to get one.
Girl.
And guess who I buy my shoes from?
DSW.
DSW. And maybe sometimes I'm waiting for a discount or a deal. Maybe sometimes I'm waiting for a season change.
If it hits you at the right moment, man.
But you have to be there to be able to hit them. So
I love email marketing. It works on me 100% of the time. So the next is Porch Pop-Ups for Rural Communities in Small Towns by Jess Clapper. Jess Clapper is cool. She has a pig farm. She raises millions of tiny, cute little pigs. And she also sells out of Porch Pop-Ups. So I don't think where we can go wrong here. And
she lives in a small community and she said, Heather, I see that people think they can't do this here and they can, and I want to tell them how.
Baby girl, that is on May 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, then we have Instagram marketing with the prompt queen, Courtney of Bakery Tico. She sells some pretty hilarious shirts. I think she dropped a new line last week.
Oh, they were so funny.
I think she's even selling men's shirts now, which is super fun.
I think it's great.
But yeah, she'll be doing that on May 20th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's going to talk to us about Instagram marketing and how to best tackle it. I hope she touches on stories. I know she
touches on TikTok because she's fantastic.
She's super funny. Yeah. Okay, great. Go on.
We have relationships in baking. If you know baking, it takes a ton of time. It's sometimes stressful dealing with clients. Sometimes it's the only thing you can see. But guess what? Your family is left hindsight trying to say what's for dinner.
But you're providing for them. So it is a struggle bus.
So what do you do? And Lisa is going to let us know on May 27th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time how her and her husband came from the brink, how they used communication, and how they're doing so much better for it.
Yeah, and now they're both a lot happier. So she's going to walk us through that one. She had a great success with it and said, I'd like to pass this along to other people.
For it.
And then last day of the month, May 31st, 7 p.m., Vanessa, who I just referenced with email marketing, is a graphic designer and has helped many people create designs, logo designs, and she wants to talk to people about what they should and shouldn't do when they're looking to create a logo.
I love that. Past lives that I want you to take a gander at is ours truly, Heather Ruth Miracle.
Okay, I did an impromptu live on scheduling.
It was great. I was going to bed though.
Corrie, I even said, Corrie, if you're here, please say aye. And it was Temby and Frank. But yeah, I really like a little bit more technical stuff. I know that, Melissa was like, Heather, I'm so sorry. I wanted to watch it. I'm just not there right now. And that's exactly what this stuff is for.
Yeah.
When you finally say, hey, I have a huge pain point,
I think a lot of people are hitting that pain point. I don't have enough time to do the back and forth. Hey, you need to take the next step. These Heather Miracle niche lives are for you, baby girl.
Right. But we've also, Corrie and I have finally gotten all the paperwork done to create our course that is going to have all the technical lives I ever wanted to. I really want to talk about domain purchasing.
Technical and non-technical. So for those baby kids that are just waking up and making their pages, we got stuff for you. Right. For those who are like, hey, I am done and made my page. I need to know this domain registrar thing.
Someone's like, they told me to update my CNAME record and they said something about DNS. I want to be able to walk people through that for when you need it. And I get it's not for everybody. It was apparently only for 2 people on Friday. I'm just kidding. There was there for
a solid 10 minutes cheering you on.
Oh, you know what? I also explored, and I want to walk people through as well, a couple of things. in Facebook, you had to either screen share or not, and I hated it. But if we can do integration, so Frank gave me an integration for a streaming software. Zoom, I figured it out. So Zoom, I can cast from Zoom to a Facebook group on a live. And then I'm going to test something called StreamYard, which allows us to pull comments from the live video and push them onto the screen.
Guys, I'm just saying, this is money. And if you are trying to reach more people, tune in for Heather's, I want to say sleepers, but Heather's lives. Just kidding.
Okay, so Courtney, Chantel in the group, she said, I really tried. She's like, but I was having fake contractions because she's about pregnant. I said, oh my goodness, your baby so badly didn't want to be there. He was like, I will crawl out of your belly. She's like, oh man, can you do one more? Because I would love to get her.
That's hilarious. She's getting ready to have a baby. Can't wait to see it. It's going to be the cutest thing ever. Now we are on to the final portion, which is called Twinterest. It is the twins' interest for the week. I would like to give you a follow-up about my baby feet that I did. I finally went through the big old shed, and I will honestly say
it is disconcerting how much your foot sheds.
These little baby toes of mine are ready for the summer.
They look like they popped out of Courtney's belly yesterday, and they're babies.
Okay, it was alarming how much my foot shed. My husband said, what is wrong with you? And I said, please don't look. But 3 days later, I honestly say they are softer than a baby's bun.
It works. And they sell another one that's just a lotion that you keep on for an hour, and you don't have to shower after, so you don't have to fall. But it just adds an extra layer.
Guys, my feet are babies. And I'm a believer. Yeah, believer.
Baby feet. You can get them on Amazon, but you can also get them at Ulta and Sephora.
Get you some baby feet.
At work.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, what's your twin dress?
Okay, I'm going to get more technical. I had promised people. Courtney's kidding. I had promised people that I was going to learn how to do Facebook Lives from DSLR cameras.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to use the Sony A7C. I'm going to get a couple of pieces of equipment to allow us to stream high resolution 1080p.
Cutting in there to break down for some of us normal folk. This Sony camera is like the Instagram camera that makes you look like you've never had a pimple or a zit or a wrinkle in your entire life. So that is the camera she is using. Go on.
And then we wanted to see, so I think that it adds a little bit of value, and the group of the lives were clear. But a webcam only has so much capability, so you can turn a DSLR into a webcam, which means you're getting that crispy, crunchy video feed straight into the live.
Looking professional. Mm-hmm. Nothing's like a potato quality.
Right.
You're not like just a pixel floating out there.
So I want to teach the people who are teaching online classes how to use their cameras. Granted, I know there's going to be like Courtney's baby watching only, but that'll be fine.
I'll be there for that. I want to see if it's crispy crunchy. Just make it before 9:30 because you know my bedtime is right around.
Sometimes at night I get like a feeling of inspiration.
I really am used to the sevens. The sevens, I can come home and I can be there.
Staying up late and sleeping in.
All right, my cult believers. Have a great week.
No.
What?
We have a sponsor.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you've really been cutting that off. But before that, I think I want to start dating again. Wow. But it's kind of hard to meet people. But I've gotten so many ads.
Maybe you need to download. What's the Bumblebee thing? Bumble.
Okay. I'll keep you posted either way. Okay, guys, thank you so much.